I mean, I know we've all been waiting years for the culmination of this, and how many of you were so excited to find out that it was actually even going to happen? I mean, come on.
And now, the head of Marvel Television, Jeff Loeb.
Welcome to Hall H. This is the first time Marvel Television has set foot in this hall, and every time I have been in this hall, I've been sitting where you guys are. So for me to be up here, I am so grateful to all of you. We're going to have some fun today. There's going to be all kinds of surprises. As I said, there's going to be surprises. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Bernthal, who plays the Punisher.
You know, Frank's very much in my heart, and I'm eternally grateful to get another crack at him. And you know, I just want to say to the members of the law enforcement community and ladies and men who serve this country and our military, and to the comic book fans that Frank belongs to, we're going to do our best to get it right, and I hope you guys dig it.
Our showrunner and our head writer, Marco Ramirez. There, she plays Colleen Wing. Jessica's here. Deb Anwall plays Karen Page. Elodie plays Elektra. Could you please stand up and give a warm welcome to Sigourney Weaver? Finn Jones plays Iron Fist. Mike Coulter plays Luke Cage. Kristen plays Jessica Jones. And the guy who kicked it all off for us, Charlie Cox, plays Matt Murdock, Daredevil. I think you all know that we've been incredibly fortunate to have our friends at Netflix not just order a season 2, but a season 3 of Daredevil. Kristen Ritter is doing season 2 of Jessica Jones. Mike Coulter is doing season 2 of Luke Cage. And I am proud to announce something that none of them know, and that is we will start production on season 2 of Iron Fist with Finn and Jessica.
The Defenders was probably the most challenging writing assignment I've ever had in my life. And I think mostly because the characters are all so independent, and because the fan base is clearly all there for each of the shows. So the big challenge was honoring each of those characters, so it never felt like any of the characters were coming and visiting Daredevil's world, or any of the characters were coming to Luke Cage's world, but actually that Defenders was its own story and self-contained.
Colleen has really had her whole life ripped away from her at the end of Iron Fist.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Your fault. Her surrogate father, like her religion, her family, even her dojo. And so we catch up with her and Danny, and they're not in New York. They're somewhere else. And she really hasn't come to terms with what's happened emotionally and mentally. And she needs to move forward with her life. She needs to go through the grieving process.
Yeah, it was interesting because, you know, each time I do one of these other, it's like 3 shows now that Karen Page is on. And I reached out to Rosario because I was like, how do you do this? But yeah, trying to keep her sort of consistent across all of the different shows. And luckily the writers have been so great and saying they want to put their kind of extra layer on it, but they really wanted me to add in, you know, if I felt it was right. And so, I don't know, it's been really fun to kind of keep adding on and getting everyone's input.
Basically, Electra is amnesiac. She doesn't remember who she is. She's trained by Alexandra to be some sort of a weapon. And I guess the question for my character is how much of the Electra that we know remains. So we'll find out, I guess, in the series.
I was already a huge fan of Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all the actors who play in those shows, as well as by then I was already a huge fan of Marco's and Jeff's and the writing and, frankly, the character of New York City. I'm a New Yorker, and I love that New York City is indeed one of the 5 Defenders. And they also offered me a part I really couldn't refuse. It's a very interesting woman, and a woman who has a lot of dealings with this lovely young lady, and their relationship is certainly one of the most unusual and interesting relationships I've ever had on screen or off. So it was just a joy to work here and work with you guys, and I really appreciate it.
Hi everyone, by the way. What's up? I've always thought that season 1 of Iron Fist and season 1 of Defenders was Danny's first full arc, like phase 1. And it was really nice to kind of take Danny from the beginning of Iron Fist and see him right through to the end of Defenders and see how much the character changes along the way and really grows into himself. And he's definitely inspired when he meets these other 3 people with abilities to kind of take his responsibilities with more purpose and drive.
I think the most interesting part of the Defenders is the relationships between the people. And you know, the fight scenes are cool and everything, but because we have such clear points of view, I think when we get together on screen and we start to bounce ideas off of one another and just have what we have off camera, it's great. And so those to me are the best parts of the series. I love working with Finn, loved working with Kristen over here, who we have a long history obviously, and getting a chance to work with Matt, Sigourney, you know, it was a great cast. And what was great about it as an ensemble is that we all shared the screen and we had time off and we enjoyed coming to set and we enjoyed seeing each other. And we, you know, we'll always remember that, you know.
It's fun.
Well, Jessica doesn't really want to play with others. She doesn't ask or want help. But at the end of the day, I think what we love about Jessica is that underneath it all, she does have a gooey inside, and she will rise to the occasion and help the little guy. So she reluctantly goes on a journey with these guys because she knows that she's valuable, because she's super strong. But she takes every opportunity to make fun of everything they're doing and make fun of Daredevil's suit and make fun of all of it. So I think JJ in The Defenders brings a little bit of attitude and sass and the funny.
As you guys probably know, each year we've, with Daredevil and the other shows, we've been to New York Comic Con. So it's kind of a wonderful celebration that we get to come here to Hall H. I've heard so much about it. I've never been to San Diego, and this is our celebration. Yeah.
Yeah, the fun of the show is that this is not the kind of show, and I think if anybody who's watched any of the 4 shows knows this isn't the kind of show where they're going to ever have a headquarters. Nobody's getting fitted for suits. There are no T-shirts. Jessica's going to look at Danny and say, "Your fist doesn't make any sense to me." So we knew we had to kind of come in on a very grounded level, not necessarily what one would expect from a quote-unquote superhero story, because they're all so independent and grounded and organic, and they exist in the back alleys. If the big superhero movies are happening in the skies, these people are all having fights in the back alleys and in really shitty bars and bad bars.
John got you to show stuff, right?
Yeah, but we did that with John.
Yeah, but if John got you to show stuff.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. Oh, I understand that.
Let's show the guys.
No. These people are here to see you guys.
Oh,
They're not here
come
to
on.
see
guys,
stuff.
I want to hear us talking. Do you want to see some stuff?
I'm so tired. So tired. Right?
I mean, you can't say no to Alexandra.
What I can tell you is the clip happens to be the exact same length as the first episode of The Defenders.
You see her face?
We present to San Diego Comic-Con the first episode of The Defenders. Jenny, roll the crib. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on August the 18th, only on Netflix. Thank you, Hall H.